when we do what the system that they set up, which is when the doctor gives me my next medical appointment, take it to my travel clerk at the nursing station back home, and she faxes or emails to here. We need the documentation that those people here have received that notice and what was done with it. I will close with this with what I really want to say. I can talk about what is wrong with the system. I can tell you a litany of those wrongs that have been done to our people. But when I started speaking, I was talking about Treaty 9. That if we understood Treaty 9, we would not need to be here. But we don't understand it, so we are here. Niskandaga, Chief Gary have brought us here. So on behalf of our people who have the treaty right to health, we make this request to the chiefs that are present here at this June 8th rally sitting to take action on our recommendations. Like our grandfathers who signed Treaty Acts New Mexico on July 5, 1929. We remind the chiefs here, it is your time to look forward to our seventh generation. It is your time to tell the Crown, Canada, that they must implement our treaty right to health as envisioned by our grandfathers in 1929. That is the job of the leaders that we have here. That is the job of our people. We can tell whatever we want, but we must do the work. And that first work, like we say, is I appreciate all of you here, but we go to Ottawa. That's what we need to do. So, like I said, what was envisioned by our grandfathers, the chiefs that we have, they must also look at the seventh generation. Thank you and God bless.
Very good, of course. We'll do another call for Chief Brennan Sinawa, Wapakika Lake First Nation. If you want to put your hand up if you're in the area coming up to the front here. Otherwise, we're going to ask Stanley Anderson, also from Wapakika, to maybe stand in. Is Stanley Anderson here? Oh, right here. Okay, so we'll have Stanley Anderson come up and speak.
Bonjour. Kiano visually not discuss. Naman do the where akum guys seguni guys kumaga. I like to acknowledge everybody that's here. I come from my community, Wapakika. I see a lot of faces I recognize, and I see a lot of faces that I've seen in the healthcare system that we struggle. You know that word where the late Prime Minister said, kill the Indian and the child. And this is exactly what's happening. As for myself, with this healthcare system that we have has failed us. As for me, I've spent a lot of money just to try and stay alive. waited like 6 days for a skedavac. And I ended up paying my way out just to have surgery. These are kind of things that it shouldn't happen to our people. We should be prioritized, especially the North people, the ones that have to travel. And just recently, with appointments, I missed a lot of appointments due to travel because of non-insured. And what happened is, like, when I actually went to that appointment, I was put in the hospital, and later was sent to Toronto. I had a triple bypass, and the workers tried to get non-insured involved with the travels accommodations, and I was denied. These things shouldn't happen to us. Their response was, we got to find out how he got to his appointment. And guess what? They're the ones that shipped me out for my appointment. So what happened there? These are the answers that we need to answer. And today, and recently, I got appointed back in the leadership in my community. And these are one of the things that I'll be fighting. Our healthcare system, our people. I've heard the leaders that spoke here. They sound very, very good. I don't have. I didn't prepare a note. I didn't prepare nothing. So what I'm here, everything that's coming from my heart, and what I need to do. We need all the leadership to come together and work together and fight this. Like I said, I just got recently appointed in a leadership role in my community. And I've always fought for my people when I needed to. When you guys see me sitting right by the drum, I always sit by the drum when I go somewhere. That's where I found peace. And I'd like to acknowledge the chief of Nishkanaga for arranging this gathering here in Sioux. You guys can on
Good. Our next speaker is Chief Russell Wesley, Cat Lake First Nation. If you want to put your hand up so I can see if you're coming to the front here. We have Chantel from Cat Lake First Nation.
Thank you. Russell Wesley could not be here today. He sends his apologies. I'm stepping in to take his place. Wait, let me get my notes. Okay. My name is Chantel Wesley. I'm a First Nations woman, a mother, and a registered social worker from Cat Lake First Nation. I am here today because access to healthcare should not be a struggle for our people. Our relatives thought about our livelihood when they negotiated the treaties. It was their intention to share this land with newcomers in exchange for commitments such as education, healthcare, and a better future for generations to come. However, We are still fighting for those promises to be upheld today. Through the Indian Act, Indigenous people have been subjected to policies that have created systemic barriers and unequal access to services. The very benefits that were intended to support our people have become conditional, burdened by red tape, approvals, delays, and bureaucracy. These barriers are not just policies on paper. They directly affect our elders, our children, our families, and our communities. They mean canceled medical travel, missed appointments, delayed treatment, and unmet mental health needs. We are here today because enough is enough. We want the red tape removed. We want prompt access to health care and mental health services. We want culturally safe care where our people are treated with dignity and respect. We want healthcare systems that we can trust. Reconciliation is not just the responsibility of Indigenous people. It is Canada's responsibility to understand the injustices that continue to affect our communities and to take meaningful action to address them. Our people deserve to be treated with respect. We deserve fair access to the care and services that were promised to us and that every human being deserves. We are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for fairness and the fulfillment of commitments made to our ancestors and future generations. Last week, I escorted my child to medical appointments. I filled request forms and trusted the system to process our travel arrangements. As the appointment dates got closer, we still had not received our travel papers. I asked our referral clerk to follow up on a Friday, but there was a T-Raytel outage. She was unable to get through. Instead, she emailed the list of patients who required travel. I was not the only one that was trying to leave. On Saturday, I waited on hold for 45 minutes. I explained our situation and was told that travel arrangements were not made on weekends unless it is considered an emergency. My options were to call back on Monday or pay for our airfare and hope to get reimbursed. We chose to wait. On Monday morning, I called again and I was on hold for an hour. I repeated my story and was told that someone would contact me. An hour and a half later, I called back because I was still hoping to travel that day. This time, I left the call back. I was told the next available flight was Tuesday afternoon by float plane. I requested seats on North Star instead. There were only 2 seats available out of all of the communities they serve. During that conversation, I asked an important question. Who is responsible for organizing a charter when patients cannot leave because scheduled flights are full? Is it NIHB or the airline? I suggested that NIHB consider chartering flights with another airline for isolated communities. We cannot simply get in a vehicle and drive to the nearest hospital in Sioux, Thunder Bay, or Winnipeg. There were other patients who were also at risk of missing important appointments. The worker listened and said she would bring my concerns forward to her manager. This entire process was frustrating. Many of you here have a similar story of your experiencing navigating the healthcare system. We are forced to fight for access to healthcare that should be readily available. When I made recommendations, I was creating pressure from the inside of the system for change. When we gather here today, we are creating pressure from the outside of the system for change. I encourage everyone here to continue using your voice, speak up, share your stories, hold systems accountable. Together, we can challenge the barriers that continue to impact First Nations people and push for a future where access to healthcare is not a struggle, but a right. Miigwech.
You got Chantal. Our next speaker is the Chief Stanley Oskanich from Nibinabek First Nation. As Chief Stanley's here, you want to put your hand up and let me know if you'll be making your way to the front here. Chief Stanley asking English. Oh, he's on his way.
Bonjour. Gelin Dugmakadam Stanley. He couldn't make it. I would need Walter Oskinigish Niznikas, one of the bank counselors. Nago Gelin na hindi nago nakigayahing Nivnamek First Nation. Sinikate Gojiyahing. Nago Maskatjunda nakihing maskiki anaki na anaki na wet ahati ha kabui wichiak ego you get in they saying go on that dang on that they were guys because you could go his one because going to know me going to have on the touch in yeah you get in there's next going I'm going to go get in personally. I just missed my appointment last week. Umanda yung pisana in getting appointment area. I was going to join a take. Going to go let's rebook those guys. Ito jigade na July jibigat. Ako ati kabujak besi nishna besi nikazo. Agus CHR nego jitangizo. Nego ne we dan mane ke ya sudah.
Hello, bonjour. Bonjour, connected nem magay. Eko sangiwi negation kaso ni besi nishnabes. Eko nahingi sinistag nasang house ka jagade nistamago ka artege ban nahing nursing station mi marasin stag yan. Niskanda gawete the mga nagayag. Eko ito meneko kanak yan nahing mas kikiyo ka kung wedding giyasos kanaban 1979 to Summer Beaver. Eko tas 1980 panggamat na piyan nahing mas kikiyo ka kung eko ganawi mas kikiyo ka gaya sibanik. There was no nurses before when I started working at the Summer Beaver. I did the nurse's job. Eko mi kainan kian mas kirpek mi kainan kian. Emergencies metahingi wamadanan. Eko ke kamachi shogano at nahak patients mi kainan kian ke kamashinato ko suwe snoban. Nahing honong kong guys saying kama saying nahi trouble kaun na pachis segwan hoy ni na wente konta nakata menaban nakon nahi kama chinjong gets na patients towe bekwe conditions ho menaban mi ekitan etibachiman hue kabina nakian kaya wach niman danaki nogum ego kine achinangi kibachi upon my late husband gawan had 1998 1999 gische gipetanakiнаban ego tas nawachiko kine sigi gikibachi 2019 na famina kagamat nakian gikiyo tapin na gogna hak o gogawita nakimagona hak kasi ita nakimagona hak First Nation ego tas metahige gon niwabandan ohoen na hitinakan trouble guys ego humate nahamayam trouble clerk wipisaban my daughter gosh she could make it out because of her sickness she can't fly ihuegewin gagigiskang nahine akazwinne bi karagin research ego tas huewin go kaina kawabandaman trouble ego huma pejagangi tiwajmanaban nahink when I was at the Airland First Nation AGM meeting, I talked about this issue, about the non-insured issue. Nakidas kainitam wago panen higagi subagit namaban my concern iwe ego chino katig din gikit naban ego tasmiho baskan apane no taman hoega gito chagatek Uingen menetan hoga gito tamort niskandaka ego tas chigaguya nakataman hoega smaseng mettahe geni na went one tona wana hine their appointment kaya tas anin tapon appointments kaya anin daw sibigate ne o tahimo obe vanimo I want to mention this na he patient basic amajaj niwabandana ko hugaktan when a patient missed appointment there's a fee she has to pay or he has to pay isibigaten goten 250 fee chitibege chipan missed appointment gaj and who's going to cover that is the patient going to cover that me as especially the dental appointments, surgery garage. Me is nago kakon kaninon kayo nokyang. Eko don't you always hoed na travel clerk ima summer beaver. Kanina on George Stoanan nahin travels. Eko tasong is chikitan. Kanja boses no na kon dekito en gani. Me akwesi kibitse kumate. Kan gebitins on see me kato nahine trouble. You have to make a request form. And I don't know how many times we fax the forms. Tani o sibi hamen ne kane to tamagin. Gomishina don mawach akonag January to May. Metahin numbers so sibi gate ang ginagamis tikiwach ma summer beaver. Special appointments kayo watch. And in the nahing cancer clinic kayo watch. Me is sick. I came all the way from Winter Road. I had an appointment here in Solikot. It was my special appointment that I didn't want to miss. And I came with my nephew my eggie, and I asked if they could pay my accommodation, and I ended up paying my own accommodation. Me guys say, don't you ever go singing in my trouble. Me guys say on Bishop, I get appointments in Thunder Bay. I have to pay my own pocket. Nahingi with the Anisha Naha, my daughter is gabesh nahing Thunder Bay. Me master that's my accommodation. Me kadwajuan ego tash oshibigan do tisugomenako with there from Ottawa. Naha there's a lady named Shelley. Gabi oshibigat ika hikashi anto entang gegone. Me is ego ne to ganchi seven. Ego mi no mate nahi appointments sa ko travel gang. Ego dinigumen no mate ko kenina kong ginigo hue. We're doing one kind at a time. Ego ne shenji kito chire. Ego ne neonji sek. One kind at a time. Travel to dotan. Me guy na go angke. We na ego ne to ganchi seven. I'd like to get an answer from that. Naha anak ginaganak ikigay kitachima. Ngebe ko emasek semen hoy. Ego tashe sibago senemuan hoy geninga kagagitan kakinachima mo anak katamang hoy guys sing. Ego anigan gaya at kinijan slang bos nan get jene wewen jene sewach. We said to me go take it on. Bojoga kina. God bless.
On behalf of the Neonomic First Nation, we support next steps, whatever happens. I got you. Miigwech, hello, I'm back. How y'all doing? Been sitting a long time. Stand up for a minute, stand up. Everybody stand up. Take a breath. Move your body for a minute, it's important. There's a lot of heavy stuff, a lot of hard stuff to hear. And it can take a toll on your body. You gotta move that body. And I had to step back for a bit. I've gone through my own health challenges too in the last year or so, and I have to take breaks, make sure I don't overexert myself. So. Chief Merle Loon, Mishkogming, are you here? We have do we have the chief here from Mish? Is he here? Anybody? If he shows up, we'll come back to him. But we have Simon. Simon, he's the head counselor from Bearskin Lake. He'll be speaking here on behalf of the community. If you stood up, you can sit back down now. I was just getting you to move your body a bit there. Good job. I forgot what I was doing.
What's it? Dean Simon McGuire, because head counselor for Bearskin Lake First Nation, and I hold community portfolios for health. No kabisan, the Badiami Tamaka, Nansimak, I got Mrs. Anika Giat, I got Pwandikaya Tuma Akif. he being discriminated against by Canada, unfair and unequal health services they provide to First Nations people across Canada. Medical health insurance for First Nations people has had a long history of underfunding and neglect, and now, at a crucial period in my community, my own well-being, the cracks in the system have widened to such degree that needless deaths, suffering, and neglect are occurring. In this last year alone, about 130 appointments were missed due to travel booked at last minute or not at all by NIHB employees. In Bearskin Lake, people are suffering from cancer, kidney disease, heart and vision problems, diabetes, and amputations. Yet, their appointments to see doctors and specialists are missed regularly because Canada does not place enough importance on getting our people to and from their appointments. Yet, we continue to get minimal attention from this government. The Minister of Indian Affairs Services Canada, Mandy Maskey, and Prime Minister Carney have ignored our requests to meet with them and to negotiate adequate health services for our people. These decisions are crucial and a matter of life and death for us. As many of you know, health and education services are tied to our treaty with the Crown. Clearly, the Crown has neglected their duty to honor provisions which are important to us and key to our very survival. Our education systems are underfunded, and so are healthcare systems. Canada and Prime Minister Carney tells us they have an obligation to reconcile the past with First Nations people, yet ignore us on our most basic needs. And now Canada and Ontario are knocking on our doors, looking for resources and development on our lands, with little to offer in return. I say to the Prime Minister Carney and Minister Maskey and to all Canadians, the provisions of health care is our right as treaty people. It is our right as descendants of the original people of this land. As importantly, though, it is our right as human beings and as Canadian citizens. I call on Canada to do better. Reconciliation starts with ensuring our people to access to a healthcare system that is fair, supports our health and longevity as people. We we are open to talking to Prime Minister Carney anytime. At first, he must be prepared to fix the crucial problems we are experiencing with health services in Bearskin Lake First Nation and in Canada. Miigwech. Oh yeah, Wesley Nassingale, now my health director. He's been in that field for 20 years.
My name is Garth, out west. Yeah, my boss just asked me about 10 minutes ago if I could say a few words too. It actually put me on the spot. I tried to borrow one of his pages so I could say a few words, but Yes, I've been doing this job for approximately 20 years, working health director, working for my community. I was born in KI, totally a long time ago, and my own community when I was small, I remember we didn't have hydro, no phones. And then again, there wasn't that much sickness back then. So ever since then, I see health problems arising, especially when the type of food that we eat has changed over the years. It's not healthy anymore. It's causing us health issues, whether it's cancer, diabetes, and so on. When Simon asked me to say a few words, my head was just all over the place as to what I should actually talk about. But everybody, I think, has spoken all the things that pretty well need to be said. That we need to fix the system. Myself, I've been involved in lots of meetings with the Ontario Regional NIHB, and of course, they say it'll get better. It never gets better. It's just getting worse, and something needs to be done. Somebody's not doing their job, underfunding. All those are issues. Our people miss a lot of appointments, and occasionally I get asked to help. And I also have a couple of emails of supervisors that I tried emailing on top of the faxes that are sent. But lately, I haven't been getting any responses from them. With regards to faxes, I don't trust them. And I know I get told not to only fax once, otherwise they just keep piling up on the workers, on the analysts. So that might be quite true too. I tried asking once about a year ago about using an email system. At least this way, somebody can email you back and say, "Yeah, we've seen your appointment notice." You know, we would at least know we've seen it, and then we can start inquiring when our travel would be. They also want the request for travel forms filled out. Some people don't know, so it never gets. Sometimes it doesn't get submitted, and then that's an excuse too for them not to book travel for the patients. I submitted about 14 names one time 2 weeks ago that didn't get their travel in time, and that's one of the things I was told was there was inappropriate paperwork, not enough paperwork submitted for about 4 or 5 of them. So all these things they need to be ironed out. My community, less than 500 on the reserve population. The rest of us are scattered throughout Canada. So we don't have funding for what I was told once was every community has a referral clerk. Preston doesn't have funding. We're the only community I was told that doesn't have funding. So we don't have a referral clerk. We have to rely on a front desk clerk to try and help out the people. But I was told there's funding available, so I got to follow up on that and hopefully get somebody hired. But I'm glad we're all here, voicing our concerns for the same thing, and it needs to get better. It really does. And I want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks to Strataga for putting this together. Mila, Miloš.
Miigwech, Garth. I've always known him as Wes too, so I always want to call him Wes. Garth. We have Chief Saul and Lucan next on the list to see here. Oh, right here, right on. I couldn't see you down there.
Well, you know what? I'm too short growing season. Good afternoon.
It's a great pleasure to be here today to finally get together and voice our concerns in regards to our our travel for medical services, which is rightfully ours. We should need to be doing this. First of all, I want to thank my friend Gary for having the courage to come up here and to organize something like that we all need. I'm sure everybody across the nation wanted to do something, but we just did not do it. And it took one brave chief to say, let's have a rally and work for our people and do the things we're supposed to do for our people as leaders. So that is exactly what I'm here for. And the other reason is, it is our right. Healthcare is our right. We don't need to be coming here begging for what our people need to be well. Now that we're made this initial get together with 14 First Nations, this is just the beginning. And I mean that. We cannot fall short of making our health services better, which is rightfully ours to be better. We don't need to beg. So the next steps has to be designed today with our leadership and with the First Nations. There should be a working committee assigned right away from across our territories. And we should definitely involve our NAN executive. And not only that, I think we should involve CEO, only Chiefs of Ontario, only to make arrangements for us with Canada and the governments, including Ontario, that we should go up there and talk to them face to face. This is serious. Our people are dying needlessly. Many, many people. And it's not out there. And Mr. Carney, Prime Minister Carney, listen to us, because this is the beginning of where we are going to come to your table and say to you, you need to change this right here and now to make changes. That includes the Premier of Ontario. That includes the Premier of Ontario. Here he is, flashing his charm around all over the place for our resources, traveling all over the place. The colonial system that has started way back then is alive and well. They don't give, I was going to use a word, about us. They do not give about us in everything that happens to the indigenous people of this country. So we're going to have to do something immediately. Not only our health issues, our resources that they really want, where they fast track the two fives, I call them, C5 and 5. They want our minerals. And they're going to have to do their part in terms of giving us what we want in this country. This is Canada, by the way. So we need to do that. So ladies and gentlemen, and chiefs that are here, we got to work ahead of us. I've heard practically everything the chiefs and speakers here talked about. That's just happening to my community, 1,600 strong. Every single one of them has had failures with the travel arrangements, with everything else under health. And today alone, I had a call when I was in Thunder Bay, and one of the patients said that I got an appointment Tuesday. I don't have travel yet, and it's a situation where she needs to see a doctor, a specialist. And you know what? I don't even know if she made it. You know? And then we got a lot. I was very, very shocked when the numbers were shown in Thunder Bay when we had our first meeting about this. The numbers Yamatang First Nation had of missed appointments and everything else. That is not right. Not here in Canada anyway. So we need to do something. So again, I'm saying to the chiefs, my friends over here, and all the chiefs that are here, we got to work ahead of us. We need to work hard. We need to do. We need to push. We can't do it anymore here in Sioux. We need to go where the action is, Ottawa and Toronto. That's what we gotta do. So that's what I'm saying, and I don't want to repeat some of the things because everything else is that speakers talked about. We went through. We're going through it now. So we need to make the changes when we need to do it right away, and we give them the time frame when this happens. That's almost it happens. That's almost immediately. That is what I'm saying. And the other thing that I want to make mention is one of my counselors came up to me and said, "You know what? They're hiring the wrong people for the things that they're supposed to do. Why don't they hire Indigenous people who knows what's going on in Northwestern Ontario?" And the other thing too is every policies that's written in the legislation, we're not involved in it. Why don't we get involved in that? I'll give you a good example of that. Remember that when the C5 and 5 were being pushed to pass the legislation? That's the fastest two legislations I've ever seen. And we tried as Matawa First Nations if we can get involved in that. No, they didn't have us go there. So the regulations of those C5 and 5, we wanted to be there so we could be part of deciding what the regulations are going to be. We didn't even get a response from the Ontario government and Canada. That's how they treat us. This is enough. Let's quit fooling around and just go out there and what our people want us to do, chiefs. And I encourage everybody to start planning this right away. Thank you very much, and thank you very much. I have an elder. I'm sorry about that, Ida. That's my one of my relatives. She's an elder now, and I know I'm going to get it when I get home for forgetting her. So she's going to speak in Elizabeth. I'm sure most of you speak. Maybe so.
Migani noe ekiton one which kaujumane ni mishich. Din haita eknikazan keni. Wige tebe hematseng web niya in gaznikate. Bishina again in banse. Ye biya in kagate bog ni chawya. Ye geni on chikiton uma kan shawit pijan. Ewi taman geni. Ani desh matsang geni. Umaga tanoy taman kalino man dagiyas. Ni chance ki pachit tibuk e akosyan. Kamino ya. Mi umaga ni doshka nugun ganchiyan. Egit machit tibushat ni chance nanaga chiguan. Kamino ya. Mi uma kaunchuin taman geni. Esya geni gastan. Kaunchiana damato. Mi bio. Panseok kananagatinto. Panima kilikitishia bisachawaya he machach. Bi bajigone sek. Oya panga kichib inga. Kashi mia magakawya kakishi bitega oya kashi matat pan ma oya kikchi hiat mi ban ma mach mi ma bejun nakitetok iwe kam semagak oya kinat so pan ma kega kinish konamot shagochi mount shabu agni wok oyak ye kedi de shi of taman county kitan you set again in no kitan keni no maga kitan ewi kitan gelin kaune kiken mago oyak andoen siot Charlie and they agan Charlie at Makan Bigatin each gede kaungat bacho maya sito we say me pusho pama mi no gote second mi no chiga kita amia
Miigwech, China. Parker, Waswa. Where is he? Just want to give these Yamatung community members a chance to say a few words. One more speaker here from Yamatung. Parker Waswa, right? Okay. Yeah. You know, with all this going on, even in our communities, as people are missing their flights, ISK decided in January to expand their operation to our mental health facility care. You know, people who have been with the same people who have been with the therapist for years, who built that rapport, were told that they can no longer see that therapist because they do not meet ISK requirements. They have been re-traumatized, people with depression, PTSD. They can't go to the same therapists that have been helping them. They've been sent back to square one. And they're still missing their appointments. The indignity that our people go through is inhumane. They treat us like we don't have the right to health care. They send even the people who make it out to their appointments, you know, they tell the day before they go out, they're waiting for their travel warrants, they're waiting to go out, they don't know. And then they reach out and they have to get to the airport next half an hour or else they're not making it to their appointment. They don't know where they're staying at their hotel, they don't know where to go after that, but they have to get out and they have to go out to get the care that they need. It's ridiculous. All the while and sorry, worked up. They receive so much money. And some people in this country complain about the money we receive for our services. But it's clear that NIHB and ISK would rather waste that money than save Indigenous lives. And that's all I came up here to say. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Michael. Parker. Chief Robert Beardy, are you here? We got quite a few more speakers. Thank you all for being here, for your patience, for hearing these stories, the frustrations.
Migas puso. Puso ko na. Gain at mami sa amin. Tashkok. Guna ka. Kaya kana matamati na chinas kumadwan. We're get to show that mas yung music na as madiga kaya nila sick. I mean, and I'll acknowledge uh, people from Sioux that came out here to support the rally, and also our elders here, and also the health director. So we have committee members here as well. Okay. Last week, there was a meeting in Thunder Bay. One of the chiefs brought up youth's mental health. Michikutewa, living in a remote area, especially with our youth, you know, it's really uh, nafijugan which guys know whom killed Chugabeshit, what they see on social media and what have you. They yearn to be out there to be with the people, a different. So we had the incident there last couple of weeks where we had a youth there that was contemplating to commit suicide, and she was medevacked out to Sioux, and we just we had an escort. We had an escort ready. We had to bring that young lady out here, and as soon as they got to the airport in Saskatchewan, they the escort wasn't allowed to travel with them. So that young girl was on her own. She's underage, and one of the workers, banner workers, happened to be here in Silicon. Checked up on the youth the next morning, only to find out that she was discharged already. You guys sick. All right. Robert Page, because you want to get you was we've been writing a lot of letters to NIHB and wherever. So we're going to stay, and I'll have health director speak for a bit as well, and along Louis T. On behalf of Saskatchewan Lake First Nation, I'm ready to express our full support and solidarity with the Canada First Nation regarding the ongoing uninsured health benefits medical travel crisis. We commend your leadership in bringing the attention to this critical issue and organizing the upcoming rally and sitting to advocate for immediate action. The challenges you have highlighted are deeply concerning and unfortunately reflect the same barriers that our own community continues to face. Saskatchewan Lake First Nation has experienced numerous instances of missed medical appointments due to last-minute travel arrangements made through NIHB. In several cases, travel confirmation were issued on the day of the departure, leaving insufficient time to secure available flight sites or accommodations. These delays and failures have directly impacted health and well-being of our members. To ensure that our community members and other communities do not miss essential medical care, Saskatchewan has been forced to absorb the financial burden of arranging and funding travel independently. This situation is neither sustainable nor acceptable as it places undue strain on our limited community resources, while our people continue to face unnecessary barriers to accessing care. We stand with the Canada First Nation, calling on the Indigenous Service Canada and the NIHB program to address these systemic issues immediately. Our communities deserve reliable, timely, and equitable access to medical travel and health services. Please know that Saskatchewan Lake First Nation stands in unity with Miss Canada
all affected First Nations as we continue to advocate for the meaningful change. Be grateful for your leadership and advocacy. Okay, I'll get her filter first. Say something, then I'll have Louis Kate speak. Okay, thank you, Chief. Thank you, Skadaga Youth, for raising awareness on our medical issues up north. And I want to thank everybody for being here and representing your communities. Support. We thank you. And I just want to say, I don't want to speak too long. I just want to say that ever since NIHB stopped the process of, with the funding for our travel, Sachigo has taken a step since April. We started taking our clients out to for medical, and it's still going on today. And I know for sure we spent probably $140,000, and it's still going up really fast as we speak. And that's the same thing with your community. If you're doing the same thing, and it's not stopping until the government of Ottawa says we fix the healthcare system. And the system the chiefs talked about is, it's never enough. It's never enough for every community up north, and it's a failing system, a failing plan for each one of us up there. And but we have obligation to promote our health and for wellness for our people. And we'll strive to that. We'll go for that rock. We'll go straight for the government and tell them this is not it. It's not going to happen no more. We need our health. So those are some issues. It's very, very serious. Everybody possible. Everybody. I mean, since after COVID or before COVID, we lost a majority of our people. And I lost count at 40. That was a couple of years ago. It's probably anywhere 60 and above now. And without the health system, it's still going downhill for us. So, without further ado, I want to thank you. And, keep on supporting our chiefs that are going to be negotiating with the government. Thank you. Good afternoon. It has taken me a while to get to this stage to speak up. I have never spoken anything for myself. I have always spoken for our future children, 7 generations down the road. That's how great my concern is. Can I have Roy Fiddler here, please, here? Roy Fiddler? Is he here? Anyways, I have a different topic that I would like to talk about other than this issue that's being talked about. It has been my concern for many years now, and I'll be 73 years old next month. And I was just a little kid when I first spoke about what I'm going to say. Over the years,
I have spoken about this whole concern that we have today. I have spoken about getting a hospital up north, further from Sioux, where our people could be diagnosed right away if something is going on with them, other than it being spoken about over the phone. That has happened to me many times, many a time. We need a hospital up north. Chiefs, delegates, proxies, whoever is here from up north, hear me. We need a hospital up north. It could be done. I know. I have been an escort to quite a few people from my reserve. And there's an aircraft that can be able to put in two patients in one flight. And that one flight aircraft costs $48,000. It's got two doctors in there. And one passenger for one patient aircraft. It has it can bring in one patient out, and that aircraft costs $24,000 just to be on here for 2 hours. $24,000, and that's why I always say we need a hospital up north, further up north than here in Tulakot. We have lost so many people in regards to what we are in the situation today, what is being spoken about. We have lost so many patients that are not cared for the care that they need. Machine ya kung siya na wajib matawas aksigam ke episode. It was so called machine kikiham na kagis pinat maskin yuar kon chun tawa kulim war. Ego mani kon to Mrs. Tawat was maskin one. Anin mayaman afnes. Ego mani guy tawa utosamaga. Even utagon hawa utaksi. Pagi sa buhay ka ulit dyan. I'm pent up about this myself. The guy we no doctor. They was sumaya kumakan. They go ginawan sino. Kaya nabaksan mo na pag naman. Kasi tagwa ka kasi ko kiyot no. Further up north from Silicon. It can happen. If an aircraft can go up north for $48,000 for a couple of hours, we can be able to have a hospital up north. You know, there's not a man guy dyan. Tagis na man siya mama man siya ka may kinuha. Kau kag isawan na mo niya. Kau kumakan niya in the past. Kumakan. Ang skata mo kuwan, tayo tagis naman. Ikaw kita slim na kaya sinago kaya kaya wabatos nung guys siya. Awya nga pinadwas kiniyot. Nage das isse. Waku maganat ahawa patient. Inatumta. Tindaw nusab mo their relative. Apun ko sa iskolang. Uyan iskolang. Kot sinyo tagis dawas naman. Nagsinan siya
Esmal Nentges, Okumano Ungaisan. Egama Chef Punindak, Egama Chef Punindak. You kill the Indian in the Omaha and Whiskers. That was some 150 years ago. And if we want to straighten out our citizenship here in Canada, it's going to take a while for it to get straightened out. Kung ano ko, yung tanan daw sinugay ko dyan, kasi kisna hasta kaganapsik, nisegas. Travels to go, it needs to be voiced. Tiba mo, Tuma Nidmak, the guy was my way, Kitigis next to one guy next to Kigun. Kung game Kios in Nidan, who got none of those. Man, going to stop that, the dark, Siguna, working over master. Ningin na naitawa na nisigo kaya kaganuswa. Miswek ko ito masigong ba sa ito sekyon niya. Agam sin dugmam na nagsatko skop matsok. Kaya batas dinip mas nakasalin niya. Kinawa tok ugmakanak. Kan nagadawag na makumekta. Tatakwa kiyat na kaksikom. Kasi wap man o semak. How you kaya kusti. Today, for the diagnosis, NIHB. Ega se llama Roman Gista Disconisoso. Ego das defeating so gunaban ay kaakulo mo. Hindi so hospital. And after we have a share, Kaskona nagatun ko dikiyan so gunaban. But lately, like I said, I hate to repeat myself. Kwan years now. Awya ka ako ka sa definitely pagkanunan was the relative. Their last respects and do cannot mo atin ikonan. Gawin ni Scott Bassett ni o sa kagano. Natanagas ka de gay mo smell kitise. Amen na ko kinagawag mo yun. Mawas ka to. Amir.
Miigwech, thank you. Thank you to the community members from Sachigo. Before I move on to Webakwe, I want to ask I missed a community member from Yamaton, Felicia. I just want to give her a chance. I missed her when we had the Yamaton speakers coming up. And then Chief White Cloud. Is that right? Did I get that right? White, all right. I was thinking of Zach White Cloud there from the Vegas Golden Knights here when he won the cup. Felicia, and then we'll have Chief White next.
Okay, bonjour. Felicia Saget Disneykas Abmatang Tunchi. Gipi Metasin Sosaman Makegi Bisan. There's 18 of us mixed with elders and middle age and a youth. And we thought it was important to come here and support Gary Kazis for putting up this rally, which is very important to bring awareness of our issues up north regarding our appointments and travel misappointments, and it also all to do with non-insured. I don't really want to discriminate people here, but this is our problem.
This is what's happening in our communities. We missed many appointments, many important appointments due to the workers handling our travel. I don't I don't know what is really happening. What I do know is they're not like they don't know our territories, our airlines, to do a better job in planning and booking our transportation back and forth to the cities where we go see our doctors. Just yesterday, one of my family members was supposed to travel to Thunder Bay, but he didn't get a travel out of Fort Hope, but he did get a return travel out of Thunder Bay. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's going on in our territories, in our communities, not only Fort Hope. But the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, when the mothers, the pregnant one go for a confinement, they're there for maybe until they have the babies. But once they deliver, they just almost kick them out the next day and send them home. We just had a recent kind of almost a mishap on one of the pregnant that went to have a baby in Thunder Bay. She was sent home like a few, maybe just a couple of days later. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm hearing. That she went into complication after she got home, and it took they only when she got medevaced out, they stayed in the hospital for 12 hours and got sent back again. And the thing that happened next few days was they had to medevac her out again to go treat her because she had complications with her placenta. Some of the stuff we go through when childbirth got stuck in the uterus, so she had to have a surgery. This is serious for our women, the moms, the new moms as well. This is very serious. I wanted to bring this out to kind of try to understand what is happening in our communities, with our people. But I am sure glad this is happening. But I would have been more happier if I didn't see that the crowd being decreased. And I am hoping that we're not like this. Our leadership doesn't step back on us like this. When we came here, there was so many people around here. But now they step back. I don't want to see our leadership step back. Do not step back with these issues. These are real issues. It depends on our lives. Women, elders, children, newborns. The system depends on our lives in our communities. We want to be well too. I know that we've been writing on genocide, but we are still here. We're gonna be here until you guys get out of our lands. No, I'm joking. But this is this is what I was told. This is what I was taught and how I was brought up, is to share what we have. Meet halfway, but that's not happening with us. We're suffering, but they're gaining. You know who I'm talking about. I don't have to say it. They're gaining. They're using our territories to make lots of money. Us, we're begging. We shouldn't be standing here. I heard that many times throughout the rally today. We shouldn't be standing here begging for our rights to be cared for, to be met.
You know, this is what our chief said. This is Canada, for crying out loud. Canada. You know, hear us, listen to us. But I want to get back to another message, that message I just said about the crowd. Please, let's not stop back. Once we started talking, let's keep talking. Take it where it counts. Ottawa, Toronto, England. That's where my late grandfather went. He went to England. I am the granddaughter of the great John Boyce Sr. He was the chief for 26 years. I am his granddaughter, and I'm proud to be standing here, and I acknowledge him. And I am also the granddaughter of our great Ellen Wapus, who was our midwife in our community. The last I've heard, it was 1968 when things changed with midwifery. She wasn't allowed to practice. I think one of my brothers was the last she ever delivered. That was around 1968. Now that we follow the doctors, everyone that had a baby had to come out to Sioux and have the baby. Where's that care you pushed on us? Please pick up and continue that care that you took away from us. And that's what my grandmother used to say. She was not even allowed to go in a nursing station when someone was having a baby. They closed the door on her. Sadly, the baby passed away in the face at that time. But anyways, just a little bit of history and a little bit of rambling around about how I see the crowd. Again, please, leaders, all leadership, don't step back. Don't let the crowd think. Make it bigger, make it louder and larger. Be loud. We need you guys. Thank you.
Miigwech. Next, Chief Whitehead. We still have about 9 or 10 more speakers. I know it's kind of hard when you're at the end there, eh, and everyone's kind of, like our speaker said, the crowd's kind of dwindling down, but there's still people here. And I just want to acknowledge some of the leadership. If they do have to leave, thank you for being here. I know there's some flights arranged and things like that, and things got to go. People got to go. But thank you, for your presence and for being here today. Chief Whitehead.
I am Chief Whitehead. First of all, I would like to acknowledge our Chief Kazis. I came today to support him. I would also like to acknowledge the drum and the speakers that spoke before the loss of my community. It is hard because the recent loss is my niece. To come up here and speak on behalf of my community. I'm here today on behalf of Webekwe, who could not be here today, who share the same experiences as our neighbors. In our communities, we continue to see people miss important medical appointments because of transportation. And Webekwe in total, I think since January, 341. I know NIHB said that they are working on it, but the total missed appointments, it started off at 25 in January. Last month, it was 120. I don't see no improvement there. Seems to be getting worse. These are not just appointments on the calendar. These are people's lives. Many of those affected are living with chronic illnesses that depend on regular medical care. My own father missed cancer appointments in Thunder Bay. He is not here today. He passed away. Sadly, many of us share these stories. Healthcare is a basic human right, a treaty obligation. Our people continue to face barriers to access proper healthcare. To me, as a newly elected leader, it is difficult to understand why the government is so eager to benefit from our resources on our lands, and they cannot fulfill one of the most basic responsibilities owed to our people, access to healthcare. Our people deserve better. No one should lose their health, their life, just because of lack of them getting to their medical appointment. I stand before you today here because, like you, I too want action and accountability. I stand before you here today as a chief, willing to work with the other chiefs that are here today. I am willing to do my part. And I'd like to thank my community members for supporting me. And in Agishman San,
Miigwech, Chief. We make a slight change in the agenda. One of our Cynthia, I'm gonna ask you to come up. She has to leave soon. And a note on charters. If you do have a charter and you need a shuttle, go to the white tent. There's a table set up. You can see Megan over there if you need to arrange a shuttle or anything. So just go check out the tent there. There's a table there for those of you that do have charters arranged. Cynthia Fiddler, she's a SIFNA board chair, and SIFNA provide a lot of logistical support here today. So we're just happy to be here and happy to support Cynthia.
Hello, bonjour. Nananakama Mando Nungumgagishgak. I'm happy to be here to be part of this rally. I'm going to keep it short because we are all saying the same things. We're all feeling it, and we're all wanting to advocate for our people. Last week when I was at the NIHB Chiefs conference, when one comment really stuck out to me, and that was Chief Wesley Cat Lake. He's like, we have to do something. I feel like I'm failing my community. And that's exactly how I feel since I've been on with the Sandy Lake First Nation as a health portfolio counselor. At first, I thought I was doing good. I was able to do a pilot project with NIHB over in Winnipeg. And then all of a sudden, they changed the system on us. And my people come to me and they tell me I'm missing appointments. And when they said that they changed the system for January, I tried to be, okay, they're changing it. Let's give them time. But I don't want to give them no more time. Like, smarten up. But I know everybody is frustrated. I try and advocate. I've been collecting our people's screenshots. I've been emailing, trying to find their emails. If you want to try my tactic with me, Slefna has a list of NIHB officials and ISK officials. I'll send you the emails. Like help me flood the box. I don't know what the answers are, but I'm here because I want change too. I like the fact that Chris Munoz had mentioned maybe we need to do a lawsuit. Let's try that. One of the things too is this is me speaking as a community leader. Maybe we need to give back that health transformation money and do the lawsuit instead. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are, but I know I'm frustrated just as much as you guys are. And stuff that are in place right now are not working. As a board, I do try and offer guidance to our SLIFNA staff, and part of that is I know there's stories too, but I'm here. Like Sam is here somewhere in the crowd. He's another board member with me. Both him and I and the other board members have always tried to say to our community members that if you need to approach us and talk to us about anything, we're here. So yeah, they gave me notes. I should have spoke more on behalf of Slipna, but I'm more a frustrated leader than I am Slipna. But I just do want to acknowledge Slipna. They Sniffer. Because they did amazing work. Putting up the tents together, gathering everybody, doing the agendas, like all the little logistical work that you don't know that. All right. Yeah, be good.
Thank you, Cynthia. James Baytree, who left this document up here? Someone said they were carrying it around all the time, but they forgot it up there. It's up here. Anyone else come grab that? Next, I think it belongs to Mike Morris. That's right. Poplar Hill First Nation. Michael Howell, are you still here? Michael Howell. After that, we have Wapikika Representative Stanley Anderson.
Hello, my name is Michael Howe. I am a counselor from Poplar Hill First Nation. Not just a counselor, but a youth counselor. I am also a new face in leadership, very new to this role, and my term is coming to an end next month. What a journey. Vivas Owen, who's supposed to be here, but he had to drive back because his 2 passengers were drinking. But I have my 2 bodyguards here. I wrote everything on my notes, so please bear with me. If I mess up some lines, I'm sorry. I might get nervous when I speak. This is my second time speaking at a rally. The first time was last year in Kenora, standing outside Rickford's office, speaking out against Bill 5. And today I am here again, not for myself, not for politics, but for our people, for our elders, our parents, our children, for the future generations who deserve better. Some of you might have heard about the walk I was planning to do for the youth in my community, I was prepared to walk from Red Lake all the way to Ottawa to fight for an arena for our youth. But we had to cancel it because we only had one driver. I was disappointed, I was sad, but today is not about me. Today is about something even bigger. Today is about the health and well-being of our people. Before I continue because this rally is streamed live or it's on Wallet, I want to say bonjour to Pop Health First Nations, to the elders watching, to the parents watching, to the youth watching, and to every First Nation community affected by these issues. We see you, we hear you, and today we stand with you. Today is not about popular health. Today is not just about Muscandiga. Today is about every First Nation family that has been let down by a system that was supposed to help them. Especially our fly-in and remote communities. Most of us live hundreds of kilometers away from hospitals. We cannot simply jump in a vehicle and drive to an appointment. We depend on medical transportation. We depend on travel approvals. We depend on a system that is supposed to support us. But what happens when that system fails? What happens when travel papers arrive too late? What happens when flights are canceled? When appointments are missed? When people are left waiting? The answer is simple. People suffer, families suffer, communities suffer. And that is exactly why we are here today. The system is broken. And when a system is broken, you do not ignore it, you fix it. And I want everyone listening today to remember this. We are not files on a desk. We are not paperwork. We are not case numbers. We are people, we are mothers, we are fathers, we are grandparents, we are children. We are entire communities trying to access the health care that every Canadian deserves. Our communities are not invincible, and our voices are not invincible. Wait, pain does not wait, cancer does not wait, infections do not wait. When someone is sick, they need help now. Not next month, not after paperwork moves from one desk to another, now. And I have some different that need answers. If someone misses an appointment because transportation failed them, who is responsible? If someone's infection gets worse because they could not travel, who is responsible? If someone's illness becomes more serious because they could not get the care they needed, who is responsible? If a family loses a loved one because the system failed them, who is responsible? Because these are not political questions, these are human questions. In fact, deserve answers, and people deserves answers. Our communities deserves answers. Too many people receive travel approvals at the last minute. Too many families are left scrambling. Too many people miss important appointments. Too many people are told at the very last minute that their travel has changed. Too many people are being treated like their time does not matter, like their health does not matter, like their lives do not matter. And that is wrong. I want people listening today to understand something. These are not just numbers. These are not just files. These are not just travel requests sitting on a desk somewhere. These are human beings. These are mothers, fathers, grandparents, and children. These are people we love. People with names, people with families, people with dreams, people who deserve dignity. And I want to talk about something that often gets forgotten, the impact this has on our youth. What happens when children watch their parents struggle to get health care? What happens when youth watch their grandparents wait for help? What happens when they hear stories about delays and cancellations? What happens when they watch the people they love being ignored? They begin to wonder, does anybody care? Do our lives matter? Do our communities matter? And that is heartbreaking because our children should never grow up feeling invincible. Our youth should never feel like they matter less because they live in a remote First Nation. A child living in a flying community should have the same opportunity to receive health care as a child living in Toronto. A grandmother in Muscandaga should matter just as much as a grandma in Ottawa. An elder in Poplar should matter just as much as an elder anywhere else in this country. Health care should not depend on your postal code. Health care should not depend on where you live. Health care is a right, not a privilege. And to those making decisions, I want you to hear this clearly. We are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for fair treatment. We are asking for basic services. We are not asking for favors. We are asking for respect. Our people are strong. We have survived hardship. We have survived challenges. We have survived things many people could never imagine. But being strong does not mean we should accept being ignored. Being First Nation does not mean we should settle for less. Enough is enough. Enough missed appointments, enough delays, enough confusions, enough excuses, enough watching our people fall through cracks, enough. Today we stand together, different communities, different nations, different leaders, but one message, one voice, one demand. Fix this system. Fix it now, not next year, not after another study, not after another report, now. Because every day we wait, someone misses care. Every day we wait, another family struggles. Every day we wait, another elder worries. Every day we wait, another child watches and wonders if anybody cares. We care. And today we are making sure Canada hears us. To the youth watching this today, never be afraid to speak up. Never be afraid to stand up for your people. Never be afraid to use your voice. Because change does not happen when people stay silent. Change happens when people stand together, like we are doing today. I may be nearing the end of my term as youth counselor, but whether I am in leadership or not, I will always stand up for our people. I will always stand up for our youth, our elders, and I will always stand up for future generations. Because future generations deserve better than what we are seeing today. Future generations deserve a system that works, deserves respect, deserves action. And future generations deserve leaders who are willing to speak up when something is wrong. Today we are speaking up. We are standing together. We are demanding change. We will keep demanding change until our voices are heard. Remote does not mean less important. Fly in does not mean less deserving. First Nation do not deserve second class health care. If healthcare is a right in Canada, then it must be right in every First Nation. Not some First Nations, not most First Nations, every First Nation. Be good.
That was pretty good for a second rally speech, I must say so. Before we move on to Waptika, I have one more speaker from Webekwe. She's flight's leaving soon. Beulah, are you still here? Beulah Wabas? Yeah, they've got a flight leaving soon. We want to squeeze her in. And then Stanley Anderson from Wapikiko following up. Did he speak already, Stan Anderson? Oh, okay. Then after that would be dear late Brad Mikas.
Bonjour. Bonjour, my name is Beulah Wabas, and I'm from Webekwe First Nation. My Anishinaabe name, well, my spirit name, Kinagon Se Mibanekwe, twirling feather woman. And the eagle is my clan. I just wanted to say a little bit too while I came here. I came in this morning also. And Nitamge Kidon, I want to say thank you to all the speakers from this morning, especially to Chief Kusis from Neshkandaga and everybody else. Our leaders, Sol, Mama Kwe, and Alvin. I'm not forgetting you, Alvin. Okay, what I wanted to say was I did write my what I was going to say last night on a piece of paper. Then I wrote it on the flip chart, but it's in my bag. So I just took a picture of it. And this rally, I believe, is, to my understanding, is about NIHB. And my first thought was, what happened? What happened? Meaning missing all these appointments, not just from my reserve, from each of your reserves too. I've heard way too many missed appointments due to no travels being done. And I'm mainly going to talk about kids. We got lots of high-risk infants and children's health issues. They should be dealt accordingly with special appointments for travel to be done ASAP, way ahead of time. The reason why I'm mentioning about the infants and youth is because they are our future, and we don't want them to experience what we are facing now and what we are challenging. And I don't remember my speech. And I just want to mention one infant back home. It's my younger sister's grandson. He's just over a year. He just turned 1 year old on May 12th last month. And the baby has special medical problems. He's not the same as the regular
1-year-old kids, 1-year-old infants, and I believe he had missed one appointment. He missed some appointments due to his travel not being done. And recently, he had appointment, but the weather was out. And then again, his appointment got rebooked, but still again, no travel was done. So the grandparents had to get help from the band, from the help, one of those band programs. So they did that. And I'm sure there's lots of other missed appointments for all these infants and children. And also, any health concerns should be dealt with high priority. Example with diabetes, etc. And mental health that is referred to specialists to others, like in Sioux, Bay, Winnipeg, etc. as our health matters. I'm just going to talk a little bit about diabetes. I'm also diabetic for many years. And eventually, our diabetes is giving us more chronic problems with every organ in our bodies, from our head to our toes. And, and even our mental health. Every time we're sick, it affects our minds, our thinking, our hearts. And it's like even with our past grievings, there's lots of unresolved grief, and it's slowly eating us all up. That's how I feel right now. I'm dealing with lots of unresolved grief too, and it's slowly eating me up inside. And as we know, all our health matters. Each one of us, doesn't matter who it is. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was about every reserve should have a medical travel clerk to do our own medical transportations, just like what these other people have mentioned. As we have modern technology now, and we got lots of educated people and talented people that they can do the work, and we can get the NIHB to coordinate if we take that option. But I'm pretty sure we all want to do that. From what I heard from the other speakers, and at the moment, I'm asked to go to be an escort for my sister because she didn't get her travel yet. And I told her I just came out just the way I am. So I'm going to decide to go to do that and be an escort for her. And I'll be going to Thunder Bay. But we'll be looking after our accommodations for a couple of nights before NIHB will do our travels. Our accommodation. Hopefully our home, to get back home.
Miigwech, also want to thank that young youth that was talking earlier from the Skandaga. I know it took a lot of courage for him to speak. As he mentioned, it was his first time talking to a rally. So I hope he continues on, and speak up for his youths. Same with every one of us. I know we got lots of talented and gifted people in each of our reserves. Miigwech.
Thank you, Felicia. Brad Nikas, are you here? After Brad, we have Cecilia Begg from KRI. I know what Aisha was saying there about the young man. When I first had to speak to, oh man, my knees were shaking, really hurt. I thought it was Elvis. But it gets easier. The more you speak up, the more you use your language, it gets easier. So keep on doing it. Brad, did I get your name right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Brad Mikas. I'm from Deer Lake. I'm one of the bank counselors. I held a whole portfolio. It's my 5th year. I want to acknowledge the drum and the Skandaga chief for putting this to light. We've been struggling with NIHB. It's not just us, it's everywhere. So far, we've been meeting with the NIHB on a monthly basis through Zoom for about 2 years. 2 years of meeting, 2 years of talking, and nothing is done. It's worse than it first started. So far, I think from April, was that April? April, we had 71 missed appointments. Then in the next month, May, we had 68. And on the second day of June, we had 12. Then when we contact NIHB, we're working on it, or we didn't. It's the common issue. We didn't get the facts. Like, we're in 2026 and we're still relying on the fax machine. I think that machines should be obsolete, and we need to find a better way to get our message across, to get our people the help that they need. And also, they have this new policy they had come out, the 10-day policy, and that's not working as well. It's not working out well. They're supposed to have you fill out the forms for 10 days before your appointment, and the day of your appointment, you still don't get anything, or you do get it last minute. And when you go to the airport, you're not on the manifest, and that's where the airlines won't let you on, because your name's not on the manifest, and it's a struggle. It's we need to better NIHB. I think they need to do better for us, for our people. How many have passed through because of NIHB hasn't fulfilled their obligations and to get us to their appointments, like even for our elders. Our elders struggle because they cannot understand English very well. Struggling out there when they're at their appointments by themselves. It's heartbreaking. And there's times when we call NIHB at the office here trying to find a clerk or travel. We're told just to wait, and we're not special. That's the words to us. We're not special, but I think we are all special in our own ways. And just a lot of work still needs to be done. They're failing us. they're failing the system's failing our people. And I came with I have our health director here and our assistant health director and our travel clerk. You know, there are times when, you know, not just I hear about stories about NIHB, it's just not just our community, it's everywhere, you know. My sister lives in Fort Hope. And, she's been through a lot medically wise, and I think it was last month. She went to the clinic and they found that she was bleeding in her eye, around her eyes, or inside her behind her eyes. And they said that if they don't get her to a doctor ASAP, she might lose her eyesight. And it took NIHB over a week to get out. But I'm thankful that she got out. She's doing okay. She still has her eyesight. There's so many issues that we need to fix. When I asked my health director to say a few words, you know, before we came up, he says, like, I think this might be his first time speaking publicly. So if he faints, don't panic. Just give him 5 minutes. I hope the medical team and the first aid team is standing by. Our health director is Leslie Beardy. I'll get him to say a few words. You know, I know this fight with NIHB, this shouldn't be the last. We should keep fighting for our people. We deserve better. We deserve them to be accountable for their actions towards our people. You know, we need to stand up. That's the reason why I came here to, like, I was at the Chiefs meeting with Nan last week, and when Chief of Nescandaga said that he was coming to NIHB to protest, you know, being a health portfolio holder, I wanted to come and join. And I do hope we keep fighting the system that failed us.
Oh, I'm the Bureau Health Director. Try not to pay. But I just want to say it is an honor to be here. Seeing when I was driving up the road here, I seen a lot of people walking, coming here, bringing their chairs. So I rolled down my window and I started honking the horn at these people, and I was waving at them. And right away, I knew these guys were getting embarrassed because I was rolling their windows down too. I was waving at everybody, just honking away. They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that these people are coming because we're all coming here to do the same thing. Because we know all that we know what we've been going through. So I know all you guys are going through the same thing as well. Because I know there's a lot of stuff that has been said already too that I was going to say, but also it's really hard. Like we said, we have monthly meetings with non-insured through Zoom, and we had said a lot of things. And even with the last 5-6 years, we've been going through a lot of our staff, like our travel clerk. Our travel clerks take it the hardest. They get yelled at, they get sweared at. Or I call my staff in. I'll say, "Hey, what's going on?" I'll say, "What's going on?" And when I talk to them, they say they don't like being yelled at. They don't like being sweared at by the people, from the people that are missing their appointments. Because there's people that really want to live, and they get mad and they take it out on our travel clerks, our staff. And just because non-insured didn't do what they're supposed to do. There's people that are dying are people too. In our meetings, I asked them, "Who's accountable for this? Why did you guys send them back when they know they have an appointment the next day as well? people that have heart conditions. They make them travel when they're sick, stuff like that. People too. We always see people. I know at the nursing station, a lot of times it takes up our nurses' time. It takes 2 hours for our nurses to call for our people to call non-insured to get answers to try to get travel. But meanwhile, our waiting room is full of people that are sick and they're waiting. And a lot of those people they end up leaving because because there's people nurses on the phone calling non-insured for 2 hours. A lot of times too, when people call them, like over here, we have people on wheelchairs. Sometimes we have to make them call them because it takes too long because their travel clerk, our staff is busy. And after 2 hours, we ask them, what's going on? Then they say, they hung up on me. And then, you know what I mean? Like I see somebody in a wheelchair, and that's really sad. And it is really hard too, because yeah, like I said, a lot of our staff, a lot of the people, the community members, they when they're told that okay, non-insured said you have to call and rebook your appointment. So when we tell them that, they say, ugh, they'll stick out their tongue. A lot of them, they get ashamed and they just give up on non-insured. They would just rather go home and pass away. So that happened a few times too, where people just give up, and then they call it, then they would call it like a natural death or a heart attack or something like that, where the report should have been cause of death, non-insured instead of natural causes. And I just want to thank everybody else that was here because there was a lot of good speeches that I had listened to. A lot of people talked really good. And another thing too is like, even like the dental surgeries, there's so many people that are missing surgeries. Surgeries, people are just getting more sick. Kids are getting more sick because their teeth are not getting sick. They're supposed to have dental surgeries, and nothing is being done. Every time we call for them too, there's always cancellations or there's no room for travel on airports. But when we call over there, we call the airlines ourselves, there's room. So there's just lies. They're just giving us lies. Because I have my worker here, she calls the airlines just to be sure. And we call them too, and they don't say nothing when we say there's room. Even when we have our meetings, I always ask non-insured our monthly meetings as well. I say, there's a big wheel here. We'll spin it. What do we tell our people? We'll spin our wheel. We'll say 100 out of 100 appointments this month. 50 of yous are not going. Right? It seems like I don't know if they're just picking their favorites to go, but it seems that way. Oh, I forgot some stuff. I was gonna say. All right, thank you.
Yeah, with our monthly meetings, with NIHB, we did ask them to come and experience what our workers experience firsthand right away. No funds, but they're doing cost saving. How can they say they don't have funds to travel? That's frustrating. And I want to acknowledge all the speakers from the other community as well. It was very heartfelt. All your messages. I know something we'll take back as well. Maybe that's
Yeah, actually, there was a couple more things I remember now. And when we have our meetings too as well, our monthly meetings, there's a lot of supervisors that are on our meetings, and they're so defensive every time we ask what's going on, why this person missed their appointment. Every time we come up and say something, all they do is defend their workers. Even the staff. There's some staff over the monthlies where they would say, "Oh, call me or send me the faxes. I can help you out." But guess what? Those people are gone next meeting, or they'll send out an email to us. Sorry, we have been moved. Yeah. So all these supervisors that are there, they're not they're not native, and so it would be nice to see more native people up in these supervisor positions. I know there's people like our KO, our zoning director, our nurses. Them, they speak up and they do a lot for us. Every time we ask for something, they set up our meetings. They do a lot of our speaking for our people. And I just want to say one more thing too. Once in a while, non-insured is good. We send the people out to when it matters the most. When there's family members that are ready to pass away, they get them there. So thank you for that.
Oh, miigwech, Deer Lake. Yeah, bonjour. I just want to say, miigwech, people that came here. I know there's a lot of people leaving because of the flight schedule. So I'd like to thank everybody that was here. I think we had over probably 15 communities or more. So it's me guys. So we'll continue with a few more speakers. All right, thank you. Cecilia Big. It's a lot of frustration I'm hearing. A lot of frustration dealing with this bureaucracy. There's nothing but keep us down. Eh? Cecilia?
Miigwech, Guanamne Dahma Kabishayek, Kam Chinyek, Shakudashan Nawachinwak. Thank you for coming, and I'm honored to be here to join on this new, well, it's not exactly new, but this thing that's been brought up to the forefront by one of our Alliance First Nations, Nishkandaga. I'm glad they did. They took the stand and they took the time to come and raise awareness on how we can move our issues forward. And we've done this time and time again. And taking these steps requires a lot of time, patience, and finances, and commitment from the individuals that are involved. They have to show that they will stand with it and carry it to the end. Because we do expect results, and if we quit before that, what's that going to say about our many issues that we've heard today? We don't really care, but that's not what we want to show. And some of the I should just say the many issues that I heard today, we all share in each community, wherever we may be. Large communities, smaller communities, we share these. And some of our northern communities are really expanding, populations are growing, and that just means that the services that we require will just have to be pushed along, and we have to be demanding these, because these are rightly the services that that were promised to us. And we keep saying that no matter on what issue we speak on, it is a thing that was promised to us by the signing of the treaties. And so we just have to keep on talking, never let up, keep on being constructive, remaining positive, and pushing the agenda along. Dasan ke kung kamaga kinota maga kishkak, ko kakna isek peshkon. Ako mina ko kispin mawa jek jek ewi mas yu to kunaron kiunan ka no tamakan kesna chukujan misega tigen. Ako mina chiak ke ginot dasan ke bagdan sekot chipmoto ko to kanan kiuan. Chikken the mak, taking sheep at the man. Chuich ka puesto mosok, satan and a picture, anmak, yoga and a pseke, yoga, kapu, a west now with culture, chicken, kishikatek, gentoxnan of maka guishayak. So, me go and getting naked, magaj, gaining what got say on a mexic, imshinman, the comina gonna wakahika with a mark to it, kiwetnuk. Animan pemiawan, a god cooking what mikana eak. Akite kapemianok. A got smew, a switch gabostona go gakna, taking no guys ship to go to Ikuma, Magaki packet the meg, Kakanaki the mag, a comina to go with a goat. I was not tomorrow. Know that way. I'm glad that we came here today to voice our concerns and our needs and to raise more awareness on the lack of proper servicing that we get from NIHB and IFC and our other and the other parties that may be involved with the treaties. These are our inherent rights, and we do need to stand up for them. We can't allow them to be trodden down, to be forgotten. We have to stand up and raise our voices and stand together. In unity, we will be louder. If we stand together, we will be stronger. We have to do this for our future nations, for our future young people. And in the meantime, we will continue to support each community, each leadership, and everybody else that came here, including the youth. You, God bless us all. Your question.
Thank you, Cecilia. We have a few more speakers left. And a reminder, just keep it to 5 minutes if you can. This is wind down. A few more speakers. Stan Beardy, are you still here? We have the former Grand Chief of Nishnawbe Nation wants to say a few words. Is he here? Looking, I don't see him. He might be in the back. Stan Beardy? What about Naomi Kinane from Round Lake? Are you still here? No. All right, Naomi, let's get you up here. If Stan's around, we'll ask him to say a few words as well too. Yeah. But we have a few more speakers, and then we're going to give it back to the chief, and the Grand Chief is still here to closing remarks as well too. Naomi.
Hi, I'm from North Carbo Lake First Nation. We came in this morning on a charter, 7 of them, and I'm one of the band counselors. And I came with the CHR, band manager, travel clerk, health director, band members, and I've asked a couple of them to say a few words. Doug Beardy.
Watch here. My name is Deputy Foy Magnucci. I was regarded as Jagadik. Na say one of the things I wanted to mention, where I say NIHB that we was ka do the when queue. A lot of the appointments that are booked with specialists take a long time, and when when that when there is a missed appointment, it takes a long time again to get another appointment because how busy the surgeons or the specialists are. It takes a long time to rebook that appointment again. So that is one of the things that we really need to address. And we really need to you does the makiwa ke biga what the moy that is all I'm going to mention.
Thank you. Arjun? Arjun?
Bonjour. To be Chilean was Abidjan. I was asked to come here too, so I decided I should come to be part of this event. I was just talking to somebody over there a while ago, and I would like to repeat a little bit of what I told them. My grandmother was, I don't know, maybe 95, 96 when she passed away. And her dad was a chief back in 1930 when our reserve, our people signed a treaty with Canada and Ontario. We had the treaty edition number 9 that time, July 8, 1930. With these people, and my grandmother always talked about the treaty, and she always made sure that we heard her when she was talking about it. She really had high expectations from the treaty. Like you just demoralized from the yeah, those officials that came to do a treaty with the families, with our families. And one of the promises that she always explained to us was, we will be looked after. That's what she always said. Sibiduria, she said. I guess that was the Queen back then, Queen Victoria, and that was her name to us, as Sibiduria. Sibiduria, Shekita, Dinanagigwe. That's what she always said. And I really believed her. So whatever is happening here today with our health care, I think somebody is trying to get away from their responsibilities, according to what our people that signed the treaty with Canada understood, what we were promised that we would get. So I hear the chiefs and the councillors and the proxies talking here, and I would like to see them move this forward. So because of our people are suffering today, you see all the numbers that are missed, the appointments, the travel arrangements that are not made. It's hard on people, and that's one promise that is not being kept. So I really encourage to move this forward. Be good.
Hi, I just want to say I'm glad to be here to be part of this protest. I hear a lot of complaints and stuff that's been happening. Everything you're saying here, I hear in our home community, missing appointments and all that. We need to stand together. Our leaders and communities need to stand together, along with with our national leadership, to stand against what's happening in our communities, and the same cry we have as you. You know, we're missing appointments. We're missing special dates. Even the flights are not even are made. People are ready to go to their appointments and they miss their plane. So a lot of stuff happening, and changes need to be made. So I'm just glad to be here to stand with, and I'm glad that our community came with a delegation to stand with this protest. Now, and my prayer is that the government will hear, and the NIHB will be changed so that they can better serve us. God bless.
Hello, my name is Joyce. I was from Round Lake, Amasita. I decided to say something. I wasn't going to say anything. I already talked to this man over there in the camera. Anyway, I just want to speak up for our people at home or anybody. I think basically I just want to say the chiefs to work on our what's been talked about all day, all afternoon. And maybe it'd be nice if we could do our own transportation at home, our own reserves, how it used to be a long time ago. Basically, that's what I want to say. We have had so many frustrations too, because lots of people are missing their appointments at home, or even last minute, and patient will say, no, it's too last minute. Why didn't they book the appointments like last week or a few days ago? Anyway, I just want to say to the chiefs and everybody that have the power, maybe we can pray about it too, and pray for the NIHB to work, or to have it in our homes to run our own transportation. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try to make it short. To bring to light the crisis that we are in our northern communities with healthcare services that so, we have the right to access social and healthcare services without discrimination. And that's the responsibility of the federal government, and somewhere in that office that we are facing cannot decide if we live or die tomorrow as a result of our misappointments. The illnesses that we have are very serious. We have tumors, cancers, and all those other serious illnesses that come to light as a result of the kind of food that we've been fed over the years by this country. And this is a start. This is the grassroots voice speaking that we're speaking here, and it's up to our leaders to move it forward to where the government is, which is in Ottawa, to take it to the doors and to tell them that this cannot happen, this is not acceptable, because our First Nation people are humans too, like our leaders have been saying over and over in this presentation. Thank you, Miigwech, and I would like to say Miigwech to Lansdowne leadership for starting this up. And I wish our leaders in Canada, in our region, as they go forward with this matter.
this important issue.
Thank you very much for doing this, for our communities, our people. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a lot of you. You all kept it short. Thank you. We have speaker here from Martin Falls that wants to say a few words. Koki Post. Russell Anthony Peniscum.
Good afternoon, and the Grand Chief. Ego, I just want to say a few words. We're from Martin Falls First Nation, and we came here this afternoon to support the other First Nations doing the rally in Solacau. And bigyan niyo na bejo na siyang Martin Falls kaya na chumot ni Shabik kaya na kapapanisyon sa their appointment, their surgery appointment, diabetes appointment, physical appointment, katawakin medical service. Ego snubog gagisigat check minus kay saying in our community. Mamo, Chamamo, we don't keep it she basically got our voice to the government. We have the sick. Let's all work together and let the government hear us our concerns for our people, for our children, our babies, and our youth and elders. You guys just take it namin ganyan na damagabisang kagastong sabisang no kagishigat. I'm here to support the other First Nations that are here that have the concerns regarding the medical services, the lack of the service and the lack of what they're supposed to be doing for our First Nation. Back in when they signed the treaty, they were supposed to look after our medical, according to our ancestors. They were supposed to look after us. There was no longer sunlight, no more water, no more grass. That was our treaty promises, and we should fight for our promises from the government from here to on for a betterment for people, for our people to live healthy. We all want to see our people to live healthy. We all want to see our children grow healthy. We have a lot of illness, sugar, diabetes, all kind of illness, cancer, everything, and we need the government health person to wake up our concerns. We got to take it naman dahil ko siya ganun na our band member Betty actually Banashkam, Martin Falls First Nation.
Watcher, my name is Anna Betty. I just have one more message. Today we heard lots of speakers talking, sharing their testimonies, and about the importance of walking together and not to. We have to make sure that we don't, let the purpose of this rally to fall aside. We need to be firm. We need to stand together. We need to hold our leadership and our NAC leadership accountable, and we will do that. And I just want to remind people that yes, we had lots of community membership here, but you know, no matter where you're living, if you're living in Attawapaskat, if you're living in Bearskin Lake, if you're living in Fort Severn, you know, we carry your stories as well. And we will continue to support each other, and we won't leave anyone behind. Miigwech.
Miigwech and Abedi, Miigwech. Willie, one more Stan, here he is. He's still here. Is he around? Give him one more opportunity if he's around. Willie Wasma wants to say a few words.
Okay, you can speak my own language. Nisnabe and Nisnabem. And that's my creator. Yeah, then I get a set of skinny and ego. Rangi Geni no Besendan, I can man. Ego das my client is Wolverine. Yeah, I did both them. And ego das great Rajam getting Gagi Jog New York. She died in 2023. That's called mad, is it? Kiakaze. And she had a diabetes. Yeah, Nigagi Tortagach. I'm the only one in the family that getting what's basic. Way, got my young. That's Bisin dog, my guitars. A week. Got to buy you once. Got this need to buy them with some people get out of yeah, my sister rang engaged in the canna. I got this getting the bag of one where got my son so I keep we got a funny me 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 will go Chini jack the hand go up my thing guinea go. They were go here, they were taught so no. We got guinea shit. That's what's happening. In the Jaganaj, in the Jaganang, so we got Mazing, we got Chiffonier. They were taught she got good talk, eat the soul 103. You got the name done. Yeah, got the soul on it. So I believe her, you got Guinness, we got the age 6, so go. We got my thing go marking. He job and the man he needs to say here. He got this so kind of so get on and do it. You don't you got to leave it. We got sick, we got my thing so. He got even the cost on the I know some people we can get dog and getting no I need to be down there visit the lands of to you got Guinness go come out there Guinness. Te voy a ni Senegal Guinness. Gagi Hitatia. Misha Migats Kituna.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Today, Sharon Zachary.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my name is Sharon Sakety, and I'm the health director for Neshkandaga First Nation. Um, First of all, thank you for everybody that came to support the rally and sit-in. I know every community has similar issues and concerns with NIHB because again, I've been dealing with all this since last year. Back before the new year, back in December, I sat across from Minister Golmasti twice, and the promises she made hasn't happened yet. I even sat with other government officials like Lisa Westway and other officials. I've went to Ottawa a few times in Toronto to have these meetings with my leadership. And the promises that were made that time hasn't happened today. I've been told they're hiring more staff at NIHB back in December, only to find out last month that never actually happened. So there's been a lot of promises that haven't been kept. I still deal with these issues on a daily basis, 7 days a week. My people bring in their ahi that they haven't got their travel arrangements. They email me, they call me, or they come and talk to me in person. These what we're facing today. We started doing our dialogue where we're keeping track of everything. And back in April, we had 22 missed appointments. And for May, it doubled to 54. You see the trend where it started out small and it's going higher. Every month, there's more missed appointments. So I hope, what we're doing here today to not stop, keep going, because I know our people are suffering when this is being neglected, the NIHB travels and accommodations. I advocate for my people a lot because I don't want to see them not getting the proper health care, what we're facing today. And I'm sure most of your communities are doing the same. So I just came from that office. I went to go speak to one of the NIHB clerks that I've been dealing with for the past few months. I went to go sit down with her. I went to go introduce myself in the same time because I've been dealing with them on a daily basis. I want to know who's on the other end of that phone. So that's what I did. I went there, then I went to go, did what I needed to do. to go speak to them. So I don't see non-insured getting any better anytime soon. So that's why we need to continue with this. Keep fighting for our health care. I just wanted to, speak a little bit of, what we're facing too, because I've been listening to everybody here today. We all have similar concerns. We're facing the same things, all the communities in the north. And I just want to, continue this fight. And I want, all the communities to do that for their communities and fight together. Okay, let's get this done. Let's not, step down. Just continue fighting for our people. Okay, Mia, be good. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thanks, Mayor. Before we go to the closing part of our agenda, I want to ask Kathy Lude, one of our partner organizations, the Sioux and the Allen Health Center. Kathy, if you have a few words, and then we'll move into the closing part of the agenda. Thank you to all of you that are still here. We appreciate it. It's been a long day.
Miigwech, thank you for staying. It's very fitting to be one of the last speakers. Magayos, isn't I shek guy Najimon? Iya gaban search appointments ni Agutakozik. It affects the region as a whole. Kenny Ninchka Gagatibaj 1 week, Monday to Friday. Monday's a travel half day, Friday's a travel half day, so basically 4 days. There were 206 missed appointments at Minoyawin. This is in April. That's the time there was an ENT specialist at Magiyach. And Kamchinani Bich Panepama Adochne the ENT specialist. The following week it was a rheumatoid doctor. Chipapa and get the moachin, the signs in the hallway. Because they have no patients to see. Yep, and then and you gotta think, these people are paid on a fee for service, meaning they don't get paid until they see a patient. These are specialists, people in their fields, from the bigger centers, Toronto, how do we keep attracting top of the line people? If that keeps happening, that one day, kain gagi obmas get patients, that doctor. He probably had about 25 to 30 patients in Toronto. Gagi obma pani. Mish esh search. Kani nain tashigoma inga at the hospital. It's a unionized environment. Kani nain we bring in staff, nurses, extra staff, nurses. Me and Kay. It affects the whole region. But I want you to think further. What about the small businesses, small private businesses? I'm from Slate Falls. Of course, I'm thinking of Bimaji Air. Panen igi banse kaiden we travel says it. What happens there? What happens to those businesses? I'm sure
the other Anishinaabe businesses are fall under the same. They have the same issue. But back to Minoyawan, ni bioshagegun ni open tamin magajan kyak, and as an Anishinaabe person, when get ni bio man dojimanen damin. Patino sel ya kek piga takshin mad Minoyawan, stage 4 panate chiganich. Things like that. Winga shaya going to tamin to help them, Zamwika, and they haven't been followed. They haven't followed up on their appointments and such. And we know that affects the community. In my family, you can't mind my family or we can just go mad because of non-insured, because of missed appointments, or they can't go to their appointments for some reason. We are giving numbers to partners. Kigandenda no these numbers to use when you're trying to make the service better. The Yaminan numbers, and I also know at the OHA level, at the regional level, we're gathering that information as well. That information. It might take us a little while to get it, but hopefully not too long. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Kathy. Thanks for your patience. It's Bertha here. We have a Bertha. One last comment. I said that last time, I know.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bertha Quisis. My brother is Gary. I am from the grassroots family. Like we had a grandfather that was born 1908, and I have his status card here. It's very old, as you can see, and it was revised on September 30th, 1954. Actually, he was from Mazan House, as most of us were. There were 6 promises on this status card that was reestablished at 1945. At the time, we were Indians of North America. And I am interested in the 6th promise that was established for us people that are dealing with health issues today. It says here, every Indian who fall very sick or by accident, the authorities residing where he is victim will have to look after and send their reports to headquarter office. That was the previous NIHB, I guess that's what it was called back then. Who will cover the expenses incurred? So this is what has been talked about all afternoon, that we are not covered, but it says here in this old status card. So fight for it. Thank you.
Miigwech. All right, we're gonna close up with some closing comments from our Grand Chief, from Gary, and then Tom for closing prayer. He is here. Tom Chisel will close out with a prayer, and then we'll close with the drum. So, Grand Chief.
You're the host. Miigwech. Miigwech for staying for the whole event. I know it's been a long day. Also, just acknowledge those that are watching by video. I'm very inspired by what you all shared here today. And I think your messages were very clear and very direct, that we can no longer allow our people to be subject to a system that is so punitive, where our people get punished almost every step of the way. If they miss an appointment, they get kicked off the program. If they miss an appointment with a specialist in Winnipeg, they're asked to pay a $200 fee. Or if they miss an appointment with a heart specialist or cardiologist in Toronto, they will pay with their health. And as you heard, we all heard today, in a lot of cases, because of neglect, because of all these barriers that are put in front of us, there have been many needless and preventable deaths. And that is something that we can no longer accept. I want to let you know that at our Chiefs Assembly last week in Thunder Bay, the NAN Chiefs and Assembly directed the Assembly and NAN to issue a state of emergency on uninsured health benefits. And that is something we're working on right now to plan a date when and how and where we will make that announcement. But it is coming. It will be a strong notice to ISC and the federal government that their system is failing our people. And that is something that we as leadership, as people, as citizens of this diabetes nation will no longer accept. And that is coming. That is one of the next steps from this assembly here today. And I know that a number of our chiefs are planning their own measures that they will be taking. And so I just want to give this assurance to the people that are assembled here and those that are watching, that this is not just a one-day event. It's a beginning of more action to come. And we will not stop until we see meaningful change. I want to acknowledge the leadership of Chief Kuzis and the people, the leadership and the people of Niskandaga. To my friend Wayne over there, even though he didn't want to shake my hand. Even though I extended my hand to him, he kind of just walked by. For their strong leadership. And to the many chiefs that came here, the committee members that responded to this call, thank you so much. And I just want to, again, just give you that assurance that we owe it to our people, we owe it to our children, we owe it to those 5 individuals from Sinai Lake that sacrificed their health and their well-being back in 1988 to continue this fight. And that is something we will do. Miigwech.
Okay, Bojo. I'm going to ask a couple of chiefs here, Wabas and Nalakan, and anybody else that are chief that's around. Can you come up here? Okay, I'm going to start off with
Matthias. Matthias is the new chief. He just got elected a couple months ago. So I'll get him to say some remarks on the closing here.
Roger, thank you for coming. Been a great day. I really like the numbers we had. We didn't continue to do so. Coming months, whatever. Hey, Rich.
A Grand Chief told me, will you but hurry up? Anyway, thank you all for coming. It was a great event. I think we, just open up some of the dialogue with each other here, how we're going to move forward. Now we're just going to have to come together, I guess, as a nation, see where we're moving to. I think one of the things that we have to do too, and I think me and we were talking about it, we have to reach out to the Crees at the coast and work with them because they're having the same problems. Okay, thank you very much, and all safe travels.
Hey, good. I say thank you. I really appreciate for you guys being here, staying this long. Like, what time is it now? It's almost 5 o'clock. That means you're really committed. You're really committed for the cause. You're pushing us. You're directing us, to act, to try to fix, help, the patients. To try to help you guys with the issues that you're going through with patient transportation right now, and other health services that I heard the issues that you raised there. So I'm really humbled and grateful for being here, showing your face, showing your faith, showing your strength. I'm saying that to us. I'm behind you all the way. Take action. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay, amigos.
Okay, Rich, the chief and the Grand Chief for staying for this closing. And Migach, Tom, for your knowledge, for letting us here in your territory, Treaty 3 area. So, Migach, on that, it's an honor to be here. That we are a nation. We are a nation as one. And if we prove it today, we did prove it today, we all came out as a unity. We came out of this divide and conquer. We're going to get stronger. We're going to get stronger. We're going to get what we want. So I just like to say that to everybody. It shows our solidarity here. Communities just like that, the snap of a finger, we're all here, and we're going to continue doing that. We'll get our message. So miigwech and miigwech to the drum, the young group here from Nishkandaga, and the members. Some of them woke up early in the morning to get here. We but nanbigi wanishkaw kwa bijawat. But it's very surprising that we made this happen. 15 communities I counted that participated. That's lots, and people are watching online. It's we're going to get that message across. Where we can't sit back and get hurt from this system that's not working. We're bringing our voice together and hearing the grassroots people. It makes the chiefs stronger to address the issues from our nation. So Kichmiigwech, Nikit, and everybody have safe travels back home. And we'll get Tom to come here to do the prayer. Bishop, just want to say, getting Mache to Chicago ma de wagay kano da ko kagi the batch mo at no kagi siga the pitch much sec where where kagi so as manito this when the we no na no sabi kan digo the mendo then you know me there maybe it's samantha when I go kagi siga kagi misya minawa chima chit yang ma kino magagibe kagibe siya send min mag chishawin bato wagi kiki awat ma kiniki awat kaya wandis na chigegon wagagi niton chigate chitashikate wetshka ma we chiga magi kagi that kene ko ma gemakanek you know the answer you know with much what I said that shadow tashikyo now just next silk shamanto which is chinana kuyang we kajsa kaya kotoan kaya chisek no chigo chuichi chimin selat and shnabek niswe kilno kino the fene matago anish ani nigo pepe jaka kaje ken mat manidom kinabego anishna peshigo tugo manidom Music can demand any music is sen manito which is namun gagi juga ikan buke guys kau itu juga tak cuma cuma tahu ini kau yang anak kata mau ada apa ikan ya kau itu juga bisa ya menikah kita migaj bisa wene gomen manito bisa wene bekoda migaj.
All right, take it away, boys. You want to gather? Come gather around the drum. one quick comment announcement. If besides the Nishnaniga's charter that's leaving at 7, are there any other charters that are leaving this evening? Come in by the podium. And, just for strangers, if you need a shuttle, for any charters that are leaving this evening, we only know the one.